And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, a real estate and finance expert, and goes to bat for you every day as your consumer advocate. Your host, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, and so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, where our number one goals are to educate, entertain, enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage you in an effort to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Now, I want you to pull out your smartphone, save our Consumer Advocate hotline number in your phone. It's 813-917-1894.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-917-1894. Don't forget our number. Bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. That's our website. You can find links to all of our expert contributors, over 80 show partners now, and we all want to help you win. Also, you can watch our live stream television version of the Quarterback Show just by clicking on the live stream link as well. So we're back here in studio live from iHeartRadio, beautiful South Tampa, Florida, every Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., your most important hour on the radio. We're also syndicated on 102.5 The Bone on the FM dial Sunday mornings, and our TV show is really seeing a lot of traction now as well. We're real excited. We don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. We're going to help you win. This segment is brought to you by Kipton, the Hotel Zamora in St. Pete Beach. First new boutique-style hotel built in St. Pete in decades. Spanish ancestry meets cool Mediterranean attitude. Whitewashed Mediterranean palace with expansive luxury suites with balconies overlooking the Intracoastal Waterway and rooftop yoga on the weekends. And if you're a boater like me, I'm out there on Freedom Boat Club a lot of times. You can pull your boat right up. There's a boat dock. Awesome pool area, hot tub, awesome restaurant as well. The Castile restaurant is great. So big shout out to the Hotel Zamora in St. Pete Beach. And let them know the quarterback sent you, and you're going to get a 15 to 20% discount off of your room. So it's the best place in Tampa Bay to have a staycation. The Hotel Zamora, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Let's go around the horn now and make our introductions. First up is going to be Mr. Scott Maurer at Vanta IRA. Welcome back in, sir.
Brandon, great to be back. Hopefully going to share today with people some ways that they can learn more about how to use their IRA, how to invest your retirement funds into different investments that most people are not familiar about, and share ways specifically that we help people educate themselves and learn more about our service.
That's right. Many options. You got webinar opportunities. There's all types of ways. We got an offer coming out where they can text into the hotline. And yeah, Scott, thanks for coming in, dropping that knowledge for us.
No problem. Anytime.
Mario Larrea back in the house, reverse mortgage specialist, Home First Lending. Welcome back.
Hey, Brandon, good to be here again. I'm going to be going through today just some of the different types of reverse mortgages, how you can use it to your advantage, reinvesting money, making more money from it, living easier, and how the different types will be able to help other people, or people take advantage of those opportunities.
That's right. The home equity conversion mortgage brought forth by the Reagan administration back in the 80s. And you can use it for a purchase as well. And so many options. And Mario is going to come in and let us know more about that, different types of reverse mortgage options. Also, Bob Burmaster, Graphics Edge. He's a marketing expert here in Tampa Bay. Welcome back in, Bob.
Hey, thank you, Brian. Thanks for having me back in. Yeah, we're going to talk about today some ways to personalize your boat with some boat wraps, and also for the businesses out there, talk about some different ways to market your business that enhances your brand and help you increase your sales.
That's right, yeah. Bob, also thanks for your service. Many, many years in the armed forces. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. My pleasure. Tampa Bay emerges as one of the nation's hottest industrial markets. I saw an Instagram post from Bob Buckhorn, Mayor Bob Buckhorn, here recently. We're going to talk about that article, as well as despite steep cost, boom of downtown Tampa living continues. So some interesting content lined up for you today. As you know, I'm a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay as well, owner of Platinum MVP Realty, and I've got a couple of hot listings I want to let you know about. This one just hit the market. This 2002 Gregory Drive property in Tampa, 3-bedroom, 2-bath property, $159,000. So it's a beautiful entry-level type home, and it's ready and at 2002 Gregory Drive in Tampa. 8928 North Arowana Avenue. This is another hot listing I have on a ski lake in beautiful Tampa. 3-bedroom, 2-bath property, custom waterfront home on Twin Lakes, designed with the family in mind. Beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-bath property, 1,920 square feet, listed at $399,000 in the best city and the best nation on the planet.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
All right, let's jump right into it. So Scott Maurer, Advanta IRA, expert in the areas of helping people understand their investment options. There's so many, let's look at it. You've got the geopolitical stuff happening with ISIS. You've got the election just happening and now all the confirmation hearings going on. There's a lot of bad information floating around. There's so much commission-based advice out there, Scott. It's important for our listeners to understand they have options, and the smart money move is to work with Advanta IRA with what they're looking at with their investments.
It really is, Brandon. It's surprising, I think, to some people that when they talk to, they find out about you can invest in real estate, you can invest in private hedge funds, private stock using your IRA. They go to their CPA, they go to their financial advisor and find out that these people really don't know a whole lot about what's possible. And that's why we created, all of our education is created for the consumer. We have our guides to download, we have our webinars, our seminars. Because, in this day and time when you have, as you mentioned, geopolitical forces, elections, things happening in other countries that are affecting the stock market, affecting interest rates, a lot of people are looking for where can I put my retirement? These funds that you've worked hard, 20, 30 years to build up a nest egg, where can I place that to what kind of vehicle can I place that in and feel comfortable with? And a lot of people are looking at real estate and looking at these other types of private investments that they come across to place at least a portion of their portfolio into, and really, get much greater control over what they're looking to do. And that's, again, you go to financial advisors and CPAs, not all of them are as up to date on all these types of things as we are.
Sure, yeah, and they're most of these so-called wealth advisors. It's it's funny. I go to a lot of these different meetings around and do a lot of networking, and a lot of these so-called wealth advisors. First of all, they're not a fiduciary. So we'll explain that in a moment, but they're not a fiduciary. A lot of them, they talk about the same jargon. It's, you've got to be diversified. You've got to, and I've heard recent quotes from Mark Cuban and Tony Robbins, and they talk about, really, do you want to be diversified? If you have a certain knowledge about real estate, let's just talk about real estate, for example. And if you know real estate is such an asset class that you can insure the asset, you're able to put it into a vehicle like an IRA, a self-directed IRA, and you're able to legally avoid taxes. I mean, so you look at that, and how much do you really want to diversify from something that you know? And not to say real estate, obviously I'm bullish on real estate, but there's other areas. Hey, somebody maybe have a specialty in whatever type of industry it is. Focus on that industry and be able to use the IRA to further the increases in the taxability of that.
Yeah, that's a key point. You brought up diversification, and if you talk to a wealth manager or some advisors, they talk about diversifying among a specific asset class. Different types of mutual funds, different types of stocks potentially that they have. We talk about diversification at Advanta to mean all of the different possible investments outside of what your wealth advisor, outside of what your financial advisor wants to sell you. There's again,
right.
As you mentioned, you can invest in real estate, notes, mortgages, private funds. The thing that our clients have in common with these assets, it could be very diverse assets that our clients hold, but as you mentioned, it's something they feel more comfortable with, whether it's a rental property, and you go buy just a single family home or a condo inside your IRA to rent out, could be you're rehabbing a property. We've had some people recently wanting to invest in cannabis private partnerships. There's people, obviously the legalization of marijuana in some states has given rise to new industries that are private. So people want to invest, they understand that, and they're carving out a portion of their portfolio to make that investment, to control, again, to have more control over what they're looking to do.
Yeah, explain real quick to our listeners as well, a fiduciary. Again, a lot of these folks, they're working for an actual company that's selling their own paper, so to speak. So in essence, they get paid more money if they sell that certain type of paper.
That's correct. There's a couple different types of financial advisors that are out there. There's ones who are commission-based, and there's ones that are fee-based. And a commission-based advisor is one who they earn their money, they earn their keep when they sell you those products that they offer, their company offers possibly. So obviously they have a vested interest in keeping your money into those investments that they specifically sell. They don't want to see you take that money to go invest in real estate and other alternatives. Then you have kind of, and then you have fee-based planners who are somewhat more of a fiduciary capacity, where they will manage your portfolio regardless of where the money's invested. A lot of times those type of advisors, when they're fee-based, you have, say, a $500,000 account, they just have a set fee. Doesn't matter what you've invested into, they charge you a fee for managing it. Those types of advisors, generally speaking, are more apt and more willing to probably put you in something that's alternative, or at least open their mind to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the big issue here is that, listen, there's a lot of confusion in the marketplace, and I think it's designed that way with a purpose intent. A lot of these mutual funds actually don't return what the indexes return. Tony Robbins' book, Money to Master the Game. So we have a QAA formula. You've got questions, we're going to give you answers, but we want to have action items behind that. Come back with us. We're going to have an action item from Scott, a great offer here. And despite steep costs, booming of downtown Tampa living continues. You're listening to The Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com. All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, former USF football player, played on the inaugural football team at the University of South Florida. Got a preseason ranking of 19. Had a good draft class as well yesterday, National Signing Day last week. And a lot of good things happening around the program and Tampa Bay sports in general as well. The Bucs are improving. A lot of good things happening, and it's Intelligent Talk Radio here. We want to help you win no matter what you're facing out there, and we want to help you with that, give you that helicopter view of the marketplace, and be that turnkey solution for you. I want you to think of this show as the hub of your financial wheel, your business wheel, your health wheel, every spoke extending out representing another one of our preferred partners. Over 80 show partners now that take time out of their busy schedules. They come in to be a consumer advocate to help you win. We have a strong moral obligation to give back and to help others, and that's what we're doing with this show every Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. right here on 1250 Wins, also on 102.5 The Bone on the weekends as well. This segment is brought to you by Healthy Gourmet, all organic veggies, all natural proteins, excellent meals delivered 3 times a week. I tell you, Felicia and her team do a great job. I love these meals, and they're delivered Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to my home or even your office, home or office delivery, with meal plans starting at only $90. Can you believe it? I mean, 10 meals a week, $90, $9 a meal, almost the same thing you pay for going in those fast food places. So check out Healthy Gourmet. Go to our website, ConsumerQB.com. All of our expert contributors' contact information is there. Are you sticking with your New Year's plans, your goals, your resolutions? Healthy Gourmet can help you do that. All organic veggies, all natural proteins delivered to your home or office. Check them out. Awesome location right here in Tampa, West Tampa Bay Boulevard in Tampa. So a partner of the Quarterback Show, helping you win, helping you be healthy. What else do you have in this world if you don't have your health? All right, so let's go back into that, Scott. When you think about Scott Maurer here, Advanta IRA, self-directed IRAs, there's a lot of things to look at. People set goals. Let's face it, we all work very hard for our money. I mean, we're taking time away from our children. We're working early. We're staying late. And then when you turn it over to an investment advisor, do you really know what the fees are in there?
Yeah, that's a great point. It's kind of interesting. We had a seminar a few years ago where a gentleman was asking what our fees were to manage a piece of real estate for somebody. We charge for just the administration of the property, receiving income, paying bills, about $300 a year, which is very, in my opinion, very affordable and very cheap. But the person sitting at the seminar said, "Well, my current IRA, I only pay I pay $25 a year. So why am I paying you so much more?" And there happened to be another advisor in the room who is much more open to self-direction, looked at the guy's statement and went through it and pointed out to him all the different fees that different mutual funds charge, different investments, just because it doesn't say fee in bold letters on the statement.
Right.
So he thought he's paying $25 a year for an IRA. And in reality, the guy showed him where on a $100,000 account, he was paying close to $1,000 a year in fees through his mutual funds. So you have to, again, as you mentioned, you work hard, you put money away into retirement accounts. A lot of people, unfortunately, don't give it much more thought than that. They put the money in there, I'm just going to let it sit. When I retire, we'll see what's there.
Yep.
Be more active. Look into what your accounts have, and we can do a free consultation. If you have a lot of people work multiple jobs, they accumulate a couple different 401ks. Other types of accounts can tell you which of those can be consolidated.
That's right.
How to consolidate them and then put them to better use.
Yeah, it's just similar in my industry, real estate, mortgage. I grew up, and we're going to hear from Mario here in a moment. But when you hear these different folks talking about no fees, no lender fee, we pay your closing costs. They're making money somewhere. They're jacking up the rate. They're just kind of playing a shell game with you. And I think listeners, especially our listeners, are more intelligent than that. So let's make an offer here. I think we should do some type of a review, or what do you recommend here?
Yeah, I would say the offer would be to call us to get a free consultation. We'll look over your statements of your IRAs, tell you kind of what you have, different things you might be able to combine. So if you text the show, we'll do that. We'll also give you an ebook on buying real estate in an IRA. We have a couple different ebooks that give good examples, a good explanation of how the process works and how it's much easier than people think it is.
Yeah, shoot us a text or a call. It's real quick, real easy. Pull out your smartphone, give us a call or a text to 813-917-1894. That's our Consumer Advocate Hotline. Welcome to 813-917-1894. Text IRA if you want to our hotline, 917-1894, and then we'll get you in contact with Scott Maurer, Advanta IRA, longtime friend of the program, and it's take control of your financial future. If you don't know exactly what every cent is accounted for on your statements, why would you not just at least get a consultation? You can come into their office, or they can even maybe go to your office. Is that right?
We do. Again, we offer a lot of online webinars. You can sit and get education from your own computer. You can come to our office for our live seminars, and we certainly do go out to the people, whether it's a meeting at a Panera Bread or a Starbucks, or even your office, and give you the education, give you the answers you need.
That's right. Awesome. We're going to hear more from Scott Maurer, Advanta IRA, in our lightning round in our fourth segment here, the fourth quarter coming up. But now we're going to talk with Mario Larrea, Home First Lending. Welcome back in, Mario.
Thanks, Brandon. Glad to be here again. There's the reverse mortgage program. It's been one of the mortgages that's been really underutilized in the past, and it's really starting to gain some momentum right now. And it does a few things for people. It will allow you to, make your money grow by reinvesting money that you would have normally been putting into real estate, or allow you to, in your retirement years, not be stressing out about making payments to your mortgage or having available funds. One of the ones that's really starting to pick up it wasn't really used too much, is reverse mortgage for purchases. Now, what this is going to enable people to do is, a lot of people are moving down to Florida from up north, buying their house 100% cash. Now they're, don't have as much liquid funds available to them. With this product, you could invest half of that money into your mortgage and then still be sitting on the other half that you would have normally put into the property. Reinvest it, or just have a nest egg there that you can fall back on should you need to. Another thing that's great about this is, men are still, unfortunately, we are dying before females. So when that happens, you see people losing usually over half of their income.
Right.
In that situation, you would hate to see your spouse not only having to deal with the death, but then also having to look into moving because they were unable to afford the property. This would allow them, some safeguards to be able to stay there and not have a mortgage payment, not have to worry about, making payments on anything.
Yeah, it's a great product. It's developed by the Reagan administration in the 80s, and I like your example there. Is that these days, especially with the uncertainty out there, there's different things happening. And if you sell a home, let's say for example, a couple sold a home up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, for example, and they netted maybe $300,000. So they come down here and they're going to look to replace that home with a $300,000 home. So instead of putting the full $300,000 into it, why not utilize a reverse mortgage, a HECM for purchase, a home equity conversion mortgage for purchase, and then put $150,000 down. Now you still have the $150,000 to either invest and grow that in some type of an account, and it's a safer play.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can use that money that would just be sitting there idly in the real estate to, again, reinvest. So you can make that money work for you. Another thing, too, is people that have already lived here that, own their homes outright, something that they can do. There's two different ways that you can pull cash out on these as well. You can take an upfront lump sum And again, you can use that money for whatever you may need it for, in home improvements, reinvesting, just money in case something comes up. But it's always nice to have that available. The other thing that can be done is, people on fixed income sometimes are living a little bit tight. You can actually set it up to where you're able to draw money monthly, so you'll get an additional income. And again, it is tax-free because it's already your money. You're just utilizing the equity. So it gives you quite a bit of opportunity to, again, like I was saying before, live comfortably without worry, and also make more money from your investment.
Yeah, and it's interesting. When you look at the statistics, it is traditionally, they say, the man typically dies before the woman. Why is that, Mario? Can you answer that?
I don't know. But the other thing, too, to combo on that, and still in this day and age, the men typically make more money, too. So when you see, unfortunately, when the male spouse dies, now the household income is, again, like I was saying, usually cut in half or cut 60%. So, the remaining spouse is really hard-pressed and a lot tighter on funds than before.
Yeah, and we'll go over a couple different options when we come back. Let's go over that. They can either take a lump sum if they're doing a refinance type product, or they can take installments as well. So it gives you that residual that you can count on monthly. And if something were to happen with the car, the car breaks down or some unexpected medical comes up, that's where a reverse mortgage can come in for you. So you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes here, and a big shout out to Michael Vogt with Back End Health Massage, helping people with neck, back, shoulder, hip, and leg pain feel better. He's voted top 10 massage services in Tampa Bay by the readers of the Tampa Bay Business Journal's Best in the Biz Awards. Big shout out to Michael Vogt, Back End Health Massage, conveniently located in Tampa at Gun Highway in Del Mabry, and my massage therapist with Back End Health Massage. So stay with us. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Despite steep cost, boom of downtown Tampa living continues. This and more from our expert contributors. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com. All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, host of the Quarterback Show and a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay, featured in Florida Realtor Magazine, Top Agent Magazine, the Business Journal, the Tampa Bay Business Journal, the Tribune, and others, recognized for innovation with marketing and helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. We are experiencing a lack of inventory in the Tampa Bay market still, so if you're a seller on the fence thinking about selling, we would love to talk to you, complete a comparable market analysis for you, let you know the exact value range of your property just by reaching out at our hotline at 813-917-1894.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-917-1894 is our hotline. Any questions, comments, concerns you have with the show, shoot us a call or a text. You can also submit a form at consumerqb.com. Just submit the form. It comes through just like an email does to me. So I've got a couple of hot properties that I want to let you know about. 15102 Lake Magdalene Boulevard in Tampa. This is a 5-bedroom, 3-bath waterfront property on a ski lake in Carrollwood. So it's a great buying opportunity. $524,000, just reduced as well, down to $524,000. Got a over 3,400 square foot heated here, and it's got a beautiful property with a ski lake, got a boat dock and everything out there on Lake Magdalene Boulevard, as well as 2106 Stoneview Road in Odessa. 6-bedroom, 4-bath property, $330,000 for almost 3,500 square feet heated. Beautiful wood flooring throughout. Gorgeous 6-bedroom, 4-bath property, 2-story home on a calming lake in beautiful Tampa Bay.
No shoes, no shirt, and no problem.
All right, this segment is brought to you by Hula Bay. It's the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Big shout out to Hula Bay, the restaurant partner for over a couple of years now. They got waterfront ambiance right here in South Tampa and excellent food, wide variety on the menu, excellent salads and burgers, all types of great seafood, of course, and wonderful sushi as well. The sushi is shipped in from Hawaii. The tuna comes in from Hawaii every 2 days. They have a new shipment of tuna. So go say hello to Mike Finnegan down there. Let him know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you for a free water with lemon. He's going to hook you up down there, take care of you. So, All right, so we're back here in studio. Let's go back into this. And the first segment we heard from Scott Maurer, Advanta IRA. We also heard from Mario Larrea, Home First Lending, our reverse mortgage expert contributor here on the Quarterback Show. So, yeah, when it comes to reverse mortgages, there's a couple different ways that these products work. You got to be a certain age bracket, but then you have different options to take the monies.
Yeah, correct. We had already discussed kind of one of the, the lump sum option and also the term where you can draw a specific amount monthly. But there's another one that's really a great product as well. It's basically like a line of credit. So you can, once the mortgage is taken out, there'll be a set amount that you can pull on whenever you need it. So you see some people using it for, to pay their taxes and insurance because, that can be a costly thing, and rather than spending the money that you have saved or the income that you're getting, it's a good way to, utilize the equity that you have to make those payments. And then the other thing too is that you have that, should something come up, you can draw on that money if you need to.
So it's like a home equity line of credit that's open there, ready for you in case something comes up.
Right. It's very similar to that. So it's available if you need it. You don't have to take it, but it is something that, is there to fall back on should you want to use it.
Yeah, and I want to make the point of also, working with the local lenders here. Your local lender, you're not running these commercials on television using some, older actors and that you see on the TV shows. And so support our local economy here. We got a local lender, Mario Larrea, Home First Lending right here in the Tampa Bay market. So, it's important that we, come together as a local economy here and support local businesses. So.
Yeah, another thing too that I see people, if you're looking for a mortgage, go to somebody who specializes in mortgages or specializes in what you're looking to do.
Right.
I see a lot of people going to, nothing against the larger banks, but they do everything, so they're not really focused on one area and really experts on that. Go to somebody, if you're looking for a reverse mortgage, go to somebody who knows about them. Or if you're looking for mortgages, period, go to somebody that's all they do. Because you're going to get a much better advice, and they can direct you to, the products that are going to make the most sense to you.
Yeah, I think the point Mario's making there is a great point, is that, these guys are the guys that took the bailout money. They took our taxpayer money. They went and bought the best real estate that's left on the busiest corners. And then they have the checkings, the savings, all these different types of programs. And what happens is you lose expertise. The more you water down the knowledge base of the employees in the bank, they're not going to understand what to do if this happens. What about this contingency? And they don't realize that, not everyone's going to fit into that one or two little loan products that they offer. So that's the big advantage of working with the Consumer Quarterback Show expert lenders that we have on our team, again, at consumerqb.com. So thanks a lot, Mario. More from Mario as well in our lightning round. We're going to go around the horn, get some top tips, things to do, things to avoid. Let's go ahead and bring Bob Burmaster into the conversation, Graphics Edge. So, Bob, when it comes to marketing, there's certain studies out there, stats that show where you got to see the different branding multiple times before that consumer will actually make the call. So your company will help with that.
Hey, Brandon, glad to be back. Yeah, your marketing mix is very important. It's not just one medium that you want to concentrate on. You got your digital, you got radio, TV, billboards. I mean, there's endless amounts out there, but you need to diversify a little bit so you can be repetitive out there with your messaging, and also that enhances your brand and gets your brand to recall.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Bob, you actually have been doing some boats lately, right? Some of the bigger boats, you're putting them wraps on them.
Yeah, the boats are a lot of fun. We've done anything from a canoe all the way up to an 87-foot yacht.
Yeah.
So some people are like, well, my boat's too big or it's too small. Well, if you got something smaller than a canoe or a kayak, it might be. If you got something bigger than an 87-foot yacht, give us a call.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting, man. So how do you do that? You got to take the boat out of the water.
Yeah, if typically for the smaller boats up to maybe a 24 to 30-foot boat, they'll bring the boat to us. Mm-hmm. But if they don't have a trailer, if they have a marina nearby, we typically work with the marinas, and they'll lift that boat up out of the water, and we'll put the graphics on right in place.
Very cool.
So very very little downtime. It's typically one day for for a boat from about 35 foot below. If you get into your bigger yachts, and depending on how intricate they are, it could take 2 to 3 days.
Interesting. And I love the idea as well. You're seeing more and more companies do this. They're buying those smart cars or the hybrid cars, and they're doing a vehicle wrap around the whole thing. And you think about the amount of impressions that you get on a daily basis with something like that.
Yeah, exactly. With the, while you're out there driving around for business owners, whether it's a delivery truck, you're getting impressions any place you want to put that vehicle. If you want to hit a particular market, so you want to hit a college market, you move that vehicle up into the college campuses, and you're getting impressions immediately.
Right.
You can often save money on your rent by being in a lower kind of out of the way district, but you can be strategic in your marketing methods where you're positioning that market to the buyers that you want to impact and not just throw money out there.
That's right, yeah. And then the other side of your business as well is obviously storefronts. So you're doing storefronts, whether any type of storefront for folks. Yeah,
with the storefronts, a lot of the stores have windows, and they fail to take advantage of that. Typically a store that uses signage in the windows will increase their sales 15 to 20%. So that's the amount of actual sales increases. The amount of people that you're actually coming into the store, you're getting a lot more bang for your buck and advertise the space you already have and the location that you're at.
Yeah, I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. We're talking with Bob Burmaster here, and Graphics Edge, graphicsedge.com as well, vehicle wraps, boat wraps, storefront signage. And so what else are you seeing out there, Bob? Are you seeing a certain trend with certain industries more so than others, or?
The healthcare industry is picking up a lot in their advertising. It's becoming, especially with all the unknowns with the change, some policies and industry. So the healthcare industry really needs to look at their marketing mix and how they're really impacting and spending their money to bring in new customers, as well as more important as to how they're going to educate the consumers.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's a big component is education, especially these days. It's more of like we were talking about, Scott, with the consultative selling and being that consumer advocate for people. You're seeing more and more of that probably in your space as well.
Yeah, we certainly have it. We've made a big effort this last year to, as Bob was saying, branding and coming up with a consistent logo, consistent picture. Because I think, as you said, you have to be in front of someone a few times for them to fully grasp what you do.
That's right. Yeah, the studies, we should pull up one of those studies as well and talk about that next time, is, the different type of brand impressions. And we talked about that in the past with Deb Schreiber with Signal Outdoor. We have Tom Keller comes on the show as well with Metro Bench. But, all these different types of strategic marketing, that branding. I've got a bus bench or a mini billboard right in front of UT right there on Kennedy. So it's great. Everybody coming from downtown Tampa sees my advertisement there. And so it's all about the marketing mix. So yeah, when we come back, we're going to talk about this article, interesting article as well. It says, despite steep cost, boom of downtown Tampa living continues. Find out what these rents are. It's interesting. And then also, Tampa Bay emerges as one of the nation's hottest industrial markets. And more from our expert contributors here in studio. And a big shout out to the Maids Cleaning Service. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. The Maids Cleaning Service, they have 24-hour, 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Big shout out to the Maids Cleaning Service. They are referred for a reason. And we'll be right back. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com. All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes here, a top listing agent in Tampa Bay. Got a couple of hot ones right here for you. I've got an interesting property here out in East County, 7814 Sims Road in Gibsonton. This 4-bedroom, 3-bath property, completely remodeled, over 3,400 square foot home. Got a pool home, screened-in pool, and granite and wood countertops as well. And then also what's interesting is that to the left of this property, on the same sales price of $449, you've got a single standing building as well that is generating $2,000 a month. There's a lease in place for a year, and it's generating $2,000 a month on a commercial property right next door. So 7814 Sims Road in Gibsonton is a great buying opportunity for anybody looking for some of that passive income and an opportunity to have a beautifully remodeled home on over 4 acres. It's 4+ acres here, fenced in as well. And also another property here, 15807 Bridgewater Lane in Tampa, Country Place West, 3-bedroom, 2-bath property, just listed. It's in the waterfront realm as well. You got $279,000 list price here for this 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage property that is also remodeled. So reach out for this or any of your questions. We would love to hear from you at 813-917-1894. That's our hotline at 813-917-1894. You can also submit the form at consumerqb.com. So despite steep cost, boom of downtown living continues. Interesting article here that we pulled up as well, and it's ABC Action News. And it says a high-end apartment complex is rolling out the welcome mat to tenants in downtown Tampa, but be ready for some sticker shock. Some of the two-bedroom units cost more than $3,000 a month. So even it turns out there's lots of people wanting to pay up, it says, and Aurora is the new place to call home in downtown Tampa. So here's a quote from Bob Buckhorn. He says, "We want people living, working, and playing in our downtown core." So it really is a cool area to live, work, and play. I went down there for the festivities for the national championship game. Went and saw, Flo Rida, down there, and some of the concerts in the park, and Curtis Hickson Park, and just such a cool area. That river walk is so neat. So let's get some response from that.
Yeah, personally, what a difference a few years makes. If you look at Tampa, downtown Tampa, certainly a decade ago, it was a place to work. It wasn't a place to live and play. There was some concerts, there's hockey games. You can go down there and do a few fun things, but they really have transformed it. As a native Tampanian myself, I'm glad that that's happening, because the big cities up north, New York, Chicago, Boston, a lot of the activity it's downtown. That's the place to be. Especially with millennials, younger generation. I'm going to live, work, and play all in a small geographic area, and in Tampa it's always been a sprawl.
That's right.
Drive into downtown, then drive out of downtown when you're done at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think especially the millennials, they want more of a walkability, and they want to be able to go out and walk their dogs and enjoy the downtown, the green areas. Any comment on that, Mario?
Yeah, I was actually just drove through there on Saturday, drove through Channelside. I was really impressed with everything that, all the buildings and everything that was there, the new living areas. It's really a great area. When it was, I'm just like Scott is. I'm from Tampa originally, and I remember it when it was just all warehouses and, just nothing down there. It's downtown Tampa. It's a great location too, with the water all around there. So it's great that now people can live there, work there, and not have to make a huge commute doing so.
Yeah, it says the landscape of Tampa housing is expected to keep growing downtown. The mayor expects nearly 4,000 new apartment units to be added to downtown within the next 2 years. So definitely some big growth there, Bob.
Yeah, with the downtown area, it's a lot of fun for one thing, but in the past it's just been, you got a great view of the water, but you really can't do anything else more with it than look at it. But now the upgrades they're making with the water park, so it's just it's gonna be so much more to do downtown. It's a great place to live and play.
That's right. Yeah, downtown Tampa, one of the hottest markets as well with real estate, and also on the industrial side. Here's another article talking about downtown or Tampa. It says Tampa Bay emerges as one of the nation's hottest industrial markets. The Bay Area vaulted from number 28 to number 10 last year in net leasing of distribution and light industrial space, according to a new report by Colliers International. Overall, vacancy rates have dropped to 6.3% despite more than 4.4 million square feet of new construction in 2016. So those are some staggering statistics as well, Scott.
Yeah, the article mentions it too. I think Amazon committing to come to this area a couple of years ago was huge. Kind of a company with that big a footprint, that big of a name.
That's right.
To say, hey, we're going to go call Tampa, as a distribution center and call it home. And I think you're seeing some of the companies up north. They're looking for where else can we go. Well, how's 80 degrees in December sound, and come down and bring their employees and set up shop.
Sunny and 75, as we say.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, yeah. So as I mentioned too, I was down there for the national championship game, the festivities, and it was pretty cool to see how they projected onto the Sykes building. They had the scores up there. They even had different Verizon's popping commercials. Like we have a great thing, and then marketers kind of ruin everything. They're marketing everywhere they can. But yeah, it's interesting. Any further comment?
Yeah, one of the nice things, being that I'm in mortgages and real estate for people, you see that much movement down here. All that really is going to end up for us is our properties are going to be appreciating, so that the investment that you made is now just growing. So, it's great for the Tampa Bay area.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our lightning round. Top tips, things to do, things to avoid. Scott Maurer,
I
you're
was
up.
going to say, based on what we just talked about, a top tip: use your IRA funds to go buy a condo downtown.
There you go.
and
rent it out.
and get $3,000 a month coming back into your IRA. That might be one good tip.
Yeah.
But certainly, if that sounds interesting, I mean, certainly it's certainly something that's possible. It's doable. Educate yourself though first.
That's right.
Again, you talk to your CPA, you talk to your financial advisor. They're not going to be as familiar with, doing that kind of investment through your IRA. So download our ebooks. Come to our webinars, seminars, at least find out what's possible, and then make the decision whether it's right for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Mario?
Well, as far as reverse mortgages goes, it had a bad name in the past. These products they're driven from the government and controlled by the government. They're great products. Get out there, talk to a professional. Somebody who specializes in it. If you want to give me a call, I can come out and talk to you at your house. You can come into my office, but find out what's available, and then you can make an educated decision whether or not it's going to be a good option for you or not.
Yeah, absolutely. Bob?
Yeah, along the thing with being an educated consumer, you have so much availability on the internet to become at least familiar with what the good questions are to ask when you go out to purchase something. Do some basic research on the internet and become smart on it. So when you're working with a company, you can understand that they're either professional and they're expert, or if they're really just trying to scam you out there. So really, take your time, be educated yourself, and spend time and do some research.
Yeah, definitely research, think it through, get it in writing is another common theme that we hear, especially when we have our attorneys on the show. And so my quarterback tip, the no huddle offense here, we're going to hit the Omaha. Have Peyton Manning help us there. So what we talk about here is the discipline of clear thinking. A lot of times in business and life, relationships, we're kind of rushed into a decision, and ultimately what you want to do is slow down, and you want to develop the discipline of clear thinking. So think of it as a bucket of dirt, bucket of silt sitting there, right? So as you take time, that silt's going to settle to the bottom. The water's going to become more clearly, allowing you to see the full scope of the decision that you're about to make. So we're all busy. We have iPhones. We're texting, tweeting. You got all these different things happening here. We're bombarded with sensory input. But Thomas Edison has a great quote. It says, "Thinking is the hardest of all disciplines." And, the rule is you want to think on paper, write all the details, write down the pros, the cons, the cost, the people involved, the assets involved, and then that way you can come up with almost a mini, what business owners call a SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And once you write it down, you're going to be able to fully evaluate. And so the discipline of clear thinking starts with taking your time in any type of decision that you're making, especially if it's involving money. And the rule is fast decisions are usually wrong decisions. So the discipline and clear thinking is crucial to your success. All right, let's go around the horn one more time. Quick tips, 30-second tips. Scott Maurer.
Again, pull out your retirement statements. Take a look at them. Don't ignore them. When the mail comes in, don't just file it away unopened. Look at your mail. Look at your financial statements. Make sure you know what's going on.
That's right.
Don't put your head in the sand. You're going to pull up that head 30 years from now, and you're not going to like what you see.
That's right. Absolutely. Mario?
For retirees, make the real estate investment that you have work for you. Don't struggle with your financial day-to-day life, living paycheck to paycheck. There's an opportunity there for you to free up some money and live a stress-free retirement.
Absolutely. Bob?
Yeah, with your marketing mix, what you talked about too, with doing your strengths, weaknesses, opportunity, and threats, look at that in your marketing as well. How do you actually differentiate yourself from the competition and stand out from the crowd, and actually make those consumers come to you based on your marketing expenses?
Awesome. And we're going to talk about Vince Lombardi here on the Quarterback Show. So you got a great quote from Vince Lombardi. It says, "Mental toughness is many things and rather difficult to explain. Its qualities are sacrifice, self-denial. Also, most importantly, it is combined with a perfectly disciplined will that refuses to give in. It's a state of mind. You could call it character in action." So that's from the great coach, Vince Lombardi. And so, yeah, we want you to go out there. Please consider committing a random act of kindness. Something as simple as packing up some leftover food that you may have in your fridge or your pantry, taking it with you to and from your commute to work, and handing it to that person that you see on the side of the road in need. We want you to be a force for good in the community and take a stand when you see something going on. Take a stand. And so thanks for listening to the Quarterback Show. We greatly appreciate you. Engage us on our YouTube channel, Facebook channel. We need subscribers. We want likes on our pages. And we'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.